Aquarius. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for October of 2021. We are the astrologers of Pandora Astrology. I'm Jamie Kale Miller. I'm in Berkeley, California.
And I'm Julia Mijas in San Francisco.
Well, Aquarius, this month's focus on your worldview and your big picture thoughts and ideals, as well as career, is going to really bring your attention to business and the trajectory of your career. And if questions come up for you after watching this horoscope, they can be really well answered in a mission orders reading, which you can find a link for that in the YouTube description below. Hey, Julia, I think you've got news about Venus, Mercury, and Mars for the Aquarians of the world.
Well, I do, Jamie. Hey, Aquarius, I'll begin with Venus. That's the planet of love, beauty, and relationships. And she begins the month in your 10th house of career and is going to spend the first week there. So when Venus is in the 10th house, it's a wonderful time for getting along well with the people you work with because the 10th house rules your career. So that can mean any clients, customers, and especially authority figures like a boss or a teacher if you're in school, or even your parents. The 10th house is also a very, very public house. So it's a wonderful transit if you do anything in the public eye, maybe if you have a social media account or something of that nature. And then on October 7th, Venus moves into your 11th house. This is the house of groups and friends. So this is going to really sort of pick up the pace of your social life. Venus in the 11th loves connecting to like a whole group of people and just instead of just hanging out with people one-on-one. If you're in a relationship, then you'll enjoy your partner more in a group context, maybe invite some friends over and all hang out. And if you're single, this is a wonderful time to get out there and date, because especially internet dating, because the 11th house rules networks. Now, Mercury, the planet of communication and mentation, starts the month retrograde in your 9th house. When Mercury's retrograde, it can be a time of miscommunications as well as having to rethink and redo things. And the 9th house can represent higher education, learning. So if you have to learn something new, you might have to go over what you thought you knew. And 9th house can also represent legal affairs too. So if you're in kind of any type of legal bind, it might be a time of rethinking and redoing your strategy as well. And because the 9th house is a travel house and Mercury is a travel planet, if you do have any trips planned this month, be prepared that there might be delays and frustrations along the way. Now on October 9th, Mercury is going to be exactly conjoined that sun. We like to call that Lesser Epiphany Day. And it's a day to keep in mind because people can have some revelations and aha moments, especially about 9th house matters for you. Now, Mercury will go direct on October 18th, and it'll slowly start going faster and faster over the week, which is going to be bringing us out of this retrograde cycle. And the last planet I'm going to talk to you about is Mars. That's the planet of action and activity, and it's going to spend most of the month in that 9th house. Again, that's the travel house. That's the house of education. It's a legal house. So with Mars in the 9th, you could feel very, very stir crazy because you might just feel like you want to go out, travel, adventure, see something new, but maybe there are a lot of responsibilities holding you back. If you're in school, this can be a time of flare-ups and frustrations, maybe with your teachers, maybe with learning new things, and also can be, if you're going through a legal dispute too, Mars in the 9th can be a bit tricky as well. But by October 30th, Mars is going to move into your 10th house of career, and since that's mainly going to be taking place next month, we're going to cover that in our next set of videos, so stay tuned.
Well, I have a couple of moons to tell you about. The first one is the new moon in Libra, which falls in your 9th house. And this is the house that covers all things that broaden us, all things that bring us to an examination of our view of the world and our beliefs. This new moon signifies, of course, the planting of seeds, a rebirth, a fresh beginning. So there might be an influence under this new moon of October 6th around you rethinking, as Julia was saying with Mercury retrograde here, rethinking, re-examining, and thinking about what actions you want to take about your beliefs. And how you might broaden yourself, broaden your mind, possibly again through travel experiences. So, but I want to let you know that the moons this month are really combative. They're really kind of driven and forceful because Mars is involved with both of these moons. This moon may be in Libra, which is the negotiator, the ambassador, the diplomat, and is viewed as very charming and social. But the presence of Mars brings in themes of assertion, even anger, and a combative quality. So, making peace with adversaries is what we're going to have to do during this moon. And it's all going to come down for you in the arena of things that you believe and beliefs that you really hold dear. So try to avoid arguments around that. It may be difficult to, but try to avoid arguments for the 3 days surrounding this moon, especially about beliefs, because those are pretty hard to win. Then we go into the second moon of this month, which is a full moon. And for this moon, the sun continues to be in the 9th house, and Mars is there too, still involved with this lunation. And it's opposing a Mars in Aries, which falls into your 3rd house. Now, the full moon is often seen as playing out in relationships. You may find that you take the part of the moon, your partner takes the part of Sun and Mars, or it can just as easily go the other way. You take the part of Sun and Mars, and your partner takes the part of Moon and Aries. But either way, this could absolutely lead to some very emotional, outbursty, argumentative conversations and communications with partners, most especially around deeply held beliefs. Now, this particular moon has another piece to it that makes it, I think, even a little bit more difficult, and that is Pluto's involvement over here, because Pluto squares the moon and the sun and Mars during this full moon. So we're calling this one Negotiate Strongly, Then Let Go. I think that the moon in Aries really likes to express itself, likes to sound off. And after it does, the storm clouds pass quickly and sunny skies return. But that Mars opposite this moon just makes things so much more combative and really it's going to be a willful situation where people's strongly held opinions are things that they want to act on and they don't want to be stopped. This Pluto brings in a note of power and control dynamics, a feeling of vulnerability that might lead to bad actors doing manipulative behaviors. So keep your eyes open for that sort of thing, and try to stay on the right side of the ethics in the situation. But mostly, after you've stated your opinion, let go. Because this is not the sort of thing that's worth hanging on to. You're probably not going to persuade the other person anyway. Okay, the last thing I want to tell you about is the seasonal change. So the sun is in Libra for most of the month, but then around the 22nd, 23rd, it moves into Scorpio. And this is the 3rd of 3 signs in a row that are in the harvesting season. Virgo in particular is the separating of the wheat from the chaff. That was in September, followed by Libra, which is the harvesting of vegetables and the leaves falling from the trees, leaving the trees bare or filled with brightly colored leaves that have been tinged with frost. And now we move into Scorpio, which is the season of death, also the season of rebirth. It is when the butchering happens and the animal herds are culled and the meat is put away for the winter, usually with salt. And this is a season of death and loss and grieving. It is also a season of hope and rebirth and the thinning of the veil between this world and the next. So this falls in your 10th house, and the sun represents the light of consciousness, the light of awareness, the life-giving sunlight of the sun. And whenever this sun moves into your 10th house, you should bring that quality of attention and light into the arena of your career. Because When you do so, you're adding vitality with your attention to that. So it's a form of tending and expanding that you can do here. And the arena of your career can really thrive when you do that during the whole season of Scorpio. There might be some letting go that's involved. It might be that there are things in your career that that have led you down a path of wanting very much to be in control, but letting go of just one thing might ease that situation and bring you more peace of mind. This is the season to ferret out what that is and do that. So I think that's what we have for you today, Aquarius. Hope you enjoyed it. You will find more horoscopes like this one on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology, and also on our website, pandoraastrology.com, where you will also find readings and classes and the monthly forecast too. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye-bye.
Bye.